Hey guys, and welcome back to the vlog. Well, today we're going to do some explaining why Roy DeMeo wound up working with me stealing cars. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to get into all the crimes that we did, how we did it, where those crimes happened, where those cars were brought, and so on. Okay, so for you guys that didn't see all the other videos about Roy DeMeo, I'm going to give you a little quick synopsis. I worked for Joey Bricchini, a made man from the Lucchese crime family. I didn't know he was a made man. I didn't know he was in the mafia. I didn't know that. He paid me $150 a week to be his gopher, to wash his car, to drop off cars, to do all things that he needed someone to do, like all mob guys have. They had a gumad and they had a kid. They all did, and I wound up being Joey Bricchini's kid because I just got out of prison and I didn't snitch on nobody. So that made me a stand-up kid. Okay, for whatever reason, Joey Bricchini winds up doing business with Roy DeMeo, because Roy DeMeo knew all about the car business, how to tag cars, how to cut them up, chop them up, what to do with them. He knew everything. But everywhere Roy went, his junkie, Joey used to call him, I don't think Joey liked Jewish people much. That dirty, he used to call him that dirty junkie Jew bastard, And only because he knew that he did cocaine and he always smelled, his hair was always greasy. I'm talking about Chris. His whole hair was always greasy and it reeked of marijuana. So Joey told Roy, don't ever bring him to my shop. And every time Roy would show up with him, Chris would have to sit in the car outside. And even those arrangements, Joey didn't like. He didn't like him. He didn't trust him. He didn't want him in. So what Joey was trying to do was put me in place of Chris and bump Chris out. But what Joey didn't understand was, since the 60s, Roy and Chris were like father and son, or like uncle, nephew, and uncle. I don't know. So that's what Joey was all about. That he didn't like him, that he was a junkie because he smoked weed. And those old timers back then, if you smoked weed, you were considered a junkie. Joey Bricchini was 100% against drugs, drug users, drug dealers. He didn't want any part of that at all. And yet, everywhere Roy went, Chris was right up his ass. So, now they're starting to steal cars. And Joey is telling Roy, anything that has to do with me, any cars that have to do with me and you, or me, period, he's the one that's going to take the cars. We don't need your boy. So Roy goes, okay, I'm going to try him out. And he did. And I knew what I was doing. So I just wanted to set the scene for what's coming next. And that's going to be me, and I wound up stealing cars with Chris, and Roy. So I just wanted to get all you guys, because there's a lot of you viewers out there that know what time of day it is. I had a viewer contact me the other day, King Arthur his name was, and he grew up with Chris or Harvey Rosenberg, whatever his name was. He grew up with him on East 52nd Street in Brooklyn. He grew up with the guy. He knew his mother. He knew everything about him. So I want to give you guys a good explanation of why Roy would be involved with some Irish kid from the Bronx that was on parole at the time. So our next video, we're going to start talking about why we stole the cars, how we got rid of them, how we made a bunch of money off them, and so on. So we're going to see you guys on the next one.